So, if you have your cameras on, you immediately pay attention. You immediately pay attention. Otherwise, you could pretty much be doing anything. You could pretty much be doing this. And I'm not saying my class is going to be boring, but still, you could pretty much be doing anything. You could be distracted. But if you have your cameras on, you're being watched and you pay attention. You agree with me? Yes? Yes, super cool. So I previously asked a question. How many of you here are complete beginners? And no problem. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Yes. It's just nice seeing you, man. You have such beautiful face. Why do you want to cover it up? I want to see you all. So I've previously asked a question. How many of you here are complete beginners? Many of you answered me. Many of you said I think more than 70-80% of you answered you're a complete beginner. I love beginners. I love beginners. I love beginners for the simple reason that beginners are excellent when it comes to learning. If you know so much, then you will not want to learn anymore. You'll be like, I know so much. Like there is a very famous story of a foreigner who visited a Buddhist monk and a Spanish person who visited a Buddhist monk. And he was saying, I know so much about this. I know so much about Buddhism. I'm a scholar. I've studied. He kept on going on and on and on and on. Many of you would have heard the story before. Maybe perhaps you must have heard it from me. So the monk, said, okay. And then started pouring tea, giving him tea. So he was pouring tea on and on and on and on. And even after the cup was full, he didn't stop. So what happens after that? It fell. Cup was all over the place. Tea was all over the place. And he said, this is exactly how you learn. If you're so full of knowledge, how will you learn anything new? So I love beginners because beginners come with a fresh mind. If you're someone who learned before, who do art before, I want you all to listen to me like you know absolutely nothing, like you're a complete beginner. Can I have that? Yes, give me a yes in the chat box if you're going to be a complete beginner with me. Super cool. So first, why urban sketching? And first of all, who am I? Right? Who's this person who's sitting here on a Sunday morning wearing a hat and who's got this nice beard and who's giving yarn? Well, hello everyone. My name is Niranjan. I'm an architecture dropout turned self-taught artist turned art coach. Ever since I started my coaching and training programs in 2020, it was during COVID when I first started taking. I have trained over 7,000 students in art. So I specialize in pen sketching, and it is that I'm going to share. But more than pen sketching, I am going to take you through a mindful experience. So you're all going to learn to draw with me, but you're going to learn something much more deep and profound. You're going to learn how to be present, how to be mindful to the situation at hand. You see, most often we are lost. We are constantly projecting ourselves to the future, or we are stuck in the past. We are hardly ever present. But today I'm going to teach you how to be fully present. So let's get on. I know all of your hands are itching to draw. I don't want to hold you back. I want to just start. Let's just get started. That's right. Is it not? The recordings of today will not be shared. So please stay with me till the end. No excuse. Recordings will not be shared. I've mentioned it many times, of course. Recording will be shared for our platinum members. That is more of my lifelong learners, more of my community members. But apart from that, yes. Okay, so let's go. How many of you here like traveling? I'm sure all of you would like traveling. Yes, is there any single person here who does not like traveling? No? Yes or no? You like traveling? Everyone here likes traveling, right? There's not a single person who does not like traveling. I'm sure that, okay, very rarely some people will be like, I don't want to go a lot, but more or less, you see, 99% of people have said, yes, they like traveling. Now, when we travel, one of the most important parts of traveling is that we like capturing our memories. We take photographs. We want to immortalize the moment. Right? That's very important. We want to make that memory a part of our entire life. Is it not, Anand? So we want to immortalize the learning. And what better way to capture it than to drawing? Tell me which one of these would you rather prefer? Would you rather prefer if you could, if you had the option, would you rather just take a selfie of a place, or would you make this amazing drawing of the place and take a photograph of the place with the drawing? Comment in left or right. L, if you would rather just do selfies. I have nothing against selfies, by the way. Okay, even I take selfies. I have nothing against them, but I just think that there are things that can be much more cooler. By the way, this is a very viral photo where one person tried to take the perfect selfie and he unfortunately got hit by the same tree. Like, it's very unfortunate, and may his soul rest in peace. Please don't do anything stupid, guys. Anandan, are you Malayali? Yes, I think you're a Malayali, right? Anandan Perengodath. Yes, super. I'm from Kerala as well, Tripunithra. Amazing. So, okay. So now, many of you, let me see in the chat box, everyone single quantity would rather do the drawing. Or how about this or this? Would you rather take a photograph of the place, or would you rather make a drawing of the place to immortalize a moment? Left or right? Let me know in the chat box. By the way, this is Adi Yogi statue, Shiva statue from Isha at Isha Yoga Center complex, and I would recommend every one of you to visit. I mean, it's extremely beautiful. It's 112 feet Shiva statue. It's incredible. I mean, only once you go, you'll know it. Right? Again, all of you single-wantedly would rather make drawings, correct? All of you single-wantedly want to make drawings. Now, making drawings. Why make drawings at all? Why make drawings even to begin with? What is the difference when you take a photograph versus when you make a drawing? I'll give you permission to unmute right now. I'll give you permission to unmute, and I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me why. Yeah. Anyone here who wants to talk?
Yeah, one advantage is that, hi, I'm Anuj here, Niranjan.
Yeah.
So one advantage is that when we draw, I hope like we'll be very mindful of the place and the details. And as we know, as a human, when we write more, we will remember more. So we'll remember the detail in a longer term.
Exactly. Very well said, Anuj. Very well said, Anuj. By the way, that is Sansari. Sansari, you want to see everyone here? Hi, so Sansari is my wife. I'm a co-founder in business, and she is this beautiful woman who came as a student in one of my workshops. Now she is not only my student, she's also my wife. And we are now in this together. No, I am also a student. Last week only he taught me how to draw this. I'm obsessed with Eiffel Tower and I do this. So Sansari holds meditation sessions, journaling sessions. I'll tell you how you can all be a part of more sessions more than just art. Just stay with me till the end. But let's go. Okay, so Anuj, right? You want to tell Medha?
Yes, when we take a photograph, it is someone's creation. When we make that one, it is our creation.
Our creation. Exactly. Both of you, Anuj, Medha, I love what you all said. This is the coolest thing. See, first thing is, of course, it looks very nice when you share a photograph. There's more appreciation. Apart from all the superficial matters, what is really happening is that when you're making a drawing, you're going to pay attention to things you've never done before. When you take a photograph, you see for a moment, you're done and it's right. 2 seconds, it's done. You hardly look at that anymore. But then what happens if you start paying attention to it? If you start drawing, you start paying attention to the smallest details. Even in a single time, you'll start observing the mosses. Even when you are on every single lane, you start observing things. You start observing the expressions of people. You start paying more closer attention to the place. Now you can ask. You get more Instagram likes also if you do it in your version. Plus, there is a more attachment. And one thing that Niranjan did not mention, he's talking about the pictures you visit, but something that we do a lot in our class is manifestation.
A lot of people in our classes have been able to manifest their dream vacation. They have been able to go to a place that they always wanted to visit by drawing an image of it and focusing on it. So quickly tell me, where would you like to manifest and go? For me, it's the Hogwarts Castle in UK, which I want to visit. What would you manifest if you could draw anywhere and travel there? Is it Disneyland, Switzerland?
For me, it's Angkor Wat.
Wow.
For me, it's Angkor Wat.
So all these beautiful pictures, you can make it a part of your vision board, and very soon you can find yourself there. Hogwarts Castle for someone else also, Greece, Ireland. Wow.
Disneyland, London.
All of these
Awesome.
can be yours.
Ellora case. Love it, love it, love it. So now you can ask me, why be mindful at all? Okay, I'm not paying attention. So what? What am I losing? You never know the value of something unless you not had it in the first place. So let me take you through a mindful exercise. Before we start, I want to take you through a mindful exercise where I'm going to teach you how you can be fully present and part of the environment. Are you all in with me? Yes, let's do this. Let's do a small mindful practice to ground you. Someone wants to go to Afghanistan. Good luck on making it out of there alive. Okay. Let's go. Okay, but before that, just before that, I want to select what drawing is it that we are going to be doing. So let's do that quickly. For today, I have two options for you. You can choose. I mean, you can choose. I have a lot.
These are amazing.
Very beautiful, no?
I feel like drawing.
Go ahead. So I really have a lot that I want to share with you, but unfortunately I not have the time for everything. So you can pick one. Is it going to be the left or the right? I'm going to launch a poll right now, and the one that gets most votes is what is going to just a second. Just give me a minute. Don't worry, you'll get this. Not able to. Okay, let's just use the chat box instead. For some reason, I'm not able to launch the poll. Let's use the chat box instead. Let's see, one gets left or right, left or right. I can just see it right away. Right. I can see a lot of left one with river, right. So I meant the left is with the land, the right is with the river. Okay. The left is with the land, the right is with the river. Left. I can see more. Lot of people saying left. I can see left. I can see the chat box exploding with left. It's actually causing a little. Okay, so I think the answer is pretty obvious here. The left is what is winning. So many people are saying it's actually, yeah, many people are commenting 2 times. It's cheating. Right, left. The ones who are picking left. Okay, I can see a lot of left only. I can see the lot of left. Yeah, it's left. That is a clear winner here. Okay, so it's the left one that we are going to be drawing. I'm going to share the image with you right now, but don't worry, even after that, I'll teach you how to draw the right one. The left looks very interesting, right? With the streets, the people, and with everything. Let's do that now. So I want you to, this is from Amsterdam. Has anyone here been to Amsterdam? Anyone here has been to Amsterdam before? Anyone? Yes, you've been to Amsterdam. That's amazing, man. I've not been there, but I would love to go there. Okay, you can all see my screen, right? All of you can see my screen. Superb. So now I want you to pay attention to the screen. I would have loved to transport you to the location, but in my own way, I'm going to transport you there. I want you to first pay attention to the screen. Look at the picture that's here. Right away, just start looking at the picture that's right here. What do you see? You see the brown building. You see the red lane. You see the gray track. You see the gray building. You see the white walls. Start by observing. Start observing the place. Pay attention to the every single detail that you can see there. Do you see the yellow lights? Do you see the signboards? What is the weather like? What is the weather like? Is it cool? Is it warm? What is the weather like there? It's pretty cool, right? It looks rainy, it looks cool. You can say the sky is moody. It's pretty cool there. It's cast. It's just cool there. You don't have to type, just pay attention. Can you feel the coolness of the space? Perhaps the place you're sitting is extremely warm. Perhaps it's sunny, but that's irrelevant. Can you transport yourself to the place and imagine the coolness of the location? Perhaps it's even drizzling, a slight drizzling. I want you to close your eyes and start feeling the coolness of the drizzle. Tiny water droplets that's falling. Can you feel it? Just visualize. What are the sounds you're hearing? Can you hear the sounds of people? Perhaps they're talking in a language where you do not know. You cannot understand a single word, but can you hear the sounds? Imagine the sounds that are going on around you. What are the smells? Can you feel the smell of fresh earth after rain? Perhaps there is a fragrance shop. Nice fragrance is coming. Perhaps there is a bakery there. You can smell freshly baked bread, cakes. Imagine the smells of the place. Now bring it all together. Pay attention to the visuals, the coolness of the atmosphere, the sounds of the place. You will sometimes almost feel an illusion of sounds, constant sound chatter that's going on in your ears. Pay attention to the smells. Drown yourself fully in the environment. Imagine as though you're there, you're immersed. You're right now no longer in your room watching the session on a Zoom screen. You are transported to Amsterdam, where you're seeing this. Yes. Imagine. Superb. So that was the power of imagination, where you were literally transported to the environment. A multi-sensory experience. How did that feel for you? How would you describe that feeling when we did this? Was it calm, cool? You saw diamonds. What is it? It's a diamond feeling. What do you mean diamonds? You felt calm, you felt peaceful. Did you notice during that time you didn't think of a lot? You didn't think of anything in the future. You weren't worrying. You had no anxiety. No feelings of depression, nothing. You were just there, just calm and nice, like you were really there, right? Yes. Let's start drawing. I will share the image for you in the WhatsApp group that you're part of. Many of you noticed you're not still part of the WhatsApp group. I'm not able to. I've been sending multiple reminders to everyone, but I don't understand why many of you still did not join in. But never mind. I'll just share the reference image with you in the WhatsApp group. You will also be able to see it. You'll also be able to see it from the screen that I'm going to draw, that I'm going to do right now. Okay, so don't worry about that. The images have been sent. Okay, so you can also see this thing. I want you all to set your view in speaker mode and not in gallery mode. Because if you're seeing in gallery mode, as in multiple screens, you'll not be able to see anything. See in speaker mode, so you can see everything clearly. Yes, it's in the WhatsApp group. You'll be able to find it. Okay, if you're part, yes. You just joined. Okay, I'll just send again. That. Share again. Okay. Superb. You found it? Great. So let's get there and let's get to action. Got it. Awesome. The basics of everything, it all starts with a few lines. Now looking at this one, you will see that, you'll start seeing that, you might notice that, I can't draw this. It's too complicated. I mean, it's too much, right? I don't know what to do. It's too much. Some of you did not receive it. I'll just share it. I'll share it again. Okay, I've shared it again. Super. So it all starts with a few basic lines. When you see this for the first time, you can get intimidated where you don't know where to begin, where to end. So the first thing I'm going to make you do is I'm going to draw just a single line. Okay. You notice in this image, you can see there is a portion where there is a sky, where there is a portion, there is a ground and everything. The first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to make you divide between the sky and the ground. By looking at this image, it kind of makes sense to think that the ground is at 1/3 with the entire picture. The paper size is irrelevant. Okay, you don't need any materials. You just need water, this and that. Okay, you just need sketchbook, pencil, pen, and that's just it. Okay, so let's just divide this into 3 parts. This entire sketchbook, we're going to divide this into 3 parts. So I'm going to start by just dividing the sketchbook into 3 parts. You see, sometimes you might have a scale, sometimes you might not. And that's all right. Sometimes you might have a scale, sometimes you might not have. But if you do not have, if you have a scale, you can use a scale and you can just get a 1/3 division. If you don't have it, you simply need to divide this into 3 parts. Just by guessing like this, just use your pencil like this and just say this. The next thing is that every drawing needs to have a focus. You see the plate, you see this where people are standing. You see this point where people are standing. Yes. This is the focus. There's no waiting room on. People are joined in. Have you all been able to join in if without any troubles? Yes. All of you could join in, right? I mean, the link was working here. People could succeed. 65 participants are here. Okay. So now this point that I'm doing here, this is the focus. I can also call this the vanishing point. Why 3 lines? Because I'm dividing this literally into 3 parts. I'm dividing this into 3 parts. So one, the ground. See, just to know the 1/3 division. That's just it. But this is where the ground is going to be. This is where the buildings are going to be. Okay. So now here, this place where the people is, this is called, this I can set as the focus for the drawing. Why? Because if you notice the roads that are going here, you can see that it's kind of tilting towards the place. Like if I had to connect the edges of this lines of the road, you can see that they are see, you notice how these roads can be connected to a single point here, which is more or less coinciding with the person said. You see this, the pavement, if I simply connected the pavement and everything is just meeting at this point. This point is called the vanishing point. So in sketching, this vanishing point is extremely important. Even if you notice this building here, you can see that even this slant of the building, the slope of the building is more or less going like this. See, perhaps not exactly there, but 80% it is there. These edges of the building as well. So in sketching, this is supremely important, and this is called the vanishing point. We'll learn more about the perspective rules and vanishing point in some time. I'll just explain to you the basics. But this point here, this position of this point is also more or less at 1/3 of my drawing. You see that? This is more or less at 1/3 of my drawing. In fact, if you see it, if you look at the drawing, you'll see that at almost 1/3. At 1/3, this is coming. This point is coming. Then after the second part, I can see this building, and the third, there is some more of this diamond factoring beneath that. So this point here, let's mark this point at 1/3 horizontally. Okay. So just as we made this line here, I'm going to make 3 lines like this. Just follow these lines right now. Do not rush. Do not be in a hurry to complete. Just follow me as you make. Right now, you'll have a 9 grid like this. Almost equal. Try to get them as equal as possible. Rectangles, 9 grid rectangles. Okay. You'll be getting something like this. Done? Give me yes in the chat box if you've been able to get these points. These are the most important things. Now, after this, what you're going to do is I'm going to just pick these point here. I'm just going to pick this point here. And out of this point, you have to this point. See this point where it is 1/3 horizontally, 1/3 vertically. From this point, you're simply going to pull lines out. See this? Notice this road here. So similar in that angle, you're going to pull one line here. Similarly, on this side as well, you can see this road here. And do this. See? Notice how this line is more or less cutting diagonally the horizontal rectangle, and this is going outwards this way. And similarly, you can just complete the ground line here. Do you notice how we have already made the road? Let's draw one more line from this point, and I'm going to end this slightly outside from here. See, from the same point, I'm going to start and just pull a straight line like this. If you cannot draw a straight line, then just break the lines and draw. If you cannot draw continuously like how I'm drawing, break the lines and draw like this. Just break and draw. But try not to use a scale for this. Do you notice how I have got a pathway similar to this pathway? See? This is the magic of perspectives. I will, of course, not be able to get in depth in details on perspective drawing due to the time constraints. But of course, I can show you how you can use these principles to your advantage. So just take a moment, draw this thing, and you can take water. You can have a sip of, you can have water. Like, feel free to have water. Can I keep a water bottle by the side? Glass of water, have water by the side. So now catch up on the grids and the pathways. Okay. Quickly. All right. Now from here, next thing I'm going to do is, you notice this point here. From here and to this point, you're again connecting this line. See, this 1/3 and this one. You'll see how I'm going to use all these different grids to make my drawing. Like this. If you don't have a sketchbook, use a paper. That's it. This is not an excuse. Come on. If you don't have a sketchbook, just use a paper. Okay. From this point here, you can just connect. All right. Same from here. And here. From this edge, you're going to again connect this. You can either push the line from this corner to this point, or from this point, you can push the line outwards. Whatever way you, I mean, that is up to you. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Preferably, if you're drawing, you start from the point and pull it outwards, because that's that just gives you a clear focus. But even if you don't have that, no problem. Just from the point, just pull it out. See this? Do you notice how these lines look similar to this building, the slope of the building here? If I simply cut, and I want you all to do this at this point, you see the point where this line is cutting, this intersecting with this horizontal line? See, I have earlier drawn two lines like this, 1/3, and then it's going like this. So at this point, there is a cut here. From this point, I just want you to simply pull one line downwards. Now just notice how this is looking like a building in this side. You see? Just by cutting here, I have this. And similarly from here, you just need to pull this out and there you go. I have the side of the build. I have the side of the building already. Are you all able to follow? Yes, super simple, right? Yes, super simple. You never thought perspective drawing could be so simple, is it not? I'm going to just draw a border for my make a small border for my drawing, because I just think it looks neat. So just just using a scale or without using a scale. If you do not have a scale, you can use a debit credit card or even another pencil. Just making a small border on the side, just a small 0.5 centimeter. You can see a border. I think it just looks neat. This is my preference. I mean, it's optional. Next, from this point here, now what you're going to do is from this point. Okay, so pay attention to these points I'm drawing. These points are very important. From this point, you're going to connect this. See this? I had previously drawn this 9 by 9 grid. From this point, you're simply connecting this one. Just connecting this one. And push this line to the right. See, notice the grid structure how I'm following. Push this to the right. Draw one more line cutting this horizontally. Then from here, just draw one more sloping line, slightly coming down, just slightly coming below here, slightly coming down below here. Connect this. And complete it. There you go. Now, did you notice how magically this right side of building also appeared? See, of course, I haven't drawn the details. I haven't drawn the signing, the diamond factory. I haven't drawn any of that. But do you notice how this side of the building has suddenly just come? What exactly did I do? I projected lines from this. This point is called the vanishing point. From the vanishing point, I just pulled the lines out. And using these, I just made shapes. So you pull this out, cut here from here, just make a front face, square like this, rectangle like this, and just pull this out there. Note that from here, it's not going down like this, but from here, it's just taking a cut to form a front. So it looks like a solid block. All right. Let's add little height to this. Add some height. Like almost, what you say, almost this car almost half. Just pull a height. Complete this side, okay, by drawing to the right. From this point, again connect to the top. Just follow step by step. I'll give you some time to catch up and I'll just repeat the steps again for you. From here, I previously drew this block. After completing this block, I added some height on the side. See, just a little height I added on the side. I connected to this right. And here you go, I have this side. This side I'm increasing on the, see now this is existing on the top right. Like the top right grid is where this is existing. Just a little height along halfway. And from this point, you draw a line connecting to the vanishing point. Make sure every line is meeting at the vanishing point. And we have this. We have the side of the building as well. Okay. There is a nice triangular roof here. So let's do that as well. I want you to draw a triangle on the top. Just draw a small triangle on the top. And push this to the right. That's it. Just keep it straight. I'm bringing slight modifications. As we draw, I'll be making slight modifications on this to simplify it because I want to simplify the drawing as much as possible for you. Okay. So I'm just going to make a slight modification to make it come like this. This slight slant you can add if you want. So draw so far, draw till here. Yeah. Easy enough, right? So far, if you've been able to follow easily step by step, I want you to comment in easy. And if it's been hard for you, just comment in H, no problem. Hard. I'm not seeking validation here. I want to understand if you're all able to catch it. That's it. But of course, I'm not saying that it's going to be a breeze. You have to challenge yourself. It's going to be a little challenging. It's not like you can just sleep and the drawing is going to come on the book. Thoda sa effort you have to put. You have to look. You have to pay attention, you have to follow the steps, you have to draw a little bit, but relatively it's easy. Yes, super. So everyone's been able to do. Amazing. Okay. It's got to be. It'll be a little hard. Little challenging it has to be. Okay. Now I have this building foundation and I have all the sides ready. What's missing in this? Let's add a little details. Let's add some little bit of details into this. So Kavita, good question. From where I start is from the vanishing point. Always when you're making a perspective drawing, you start from this point called the vanishing point. The reason why I asked you to draw these grid lines was to provide you with a system so that you know from where to draw the lines to from vanishing point, okay? Yes, how to find the vanishing point. So there's a lot of principles that goes inside it. The easiest way to look at it is look at these converging pathways. Look at these converging pathways and see where they're meeting. That is what the vanishing point is about. Like I said, it's got a lot to do with perspective drawing. And since I'll not be able to talk in depth about perspective here, today, because of the time constraints, it's a small workshop, so I'll not be able to explain all that in depth. But of course, this is how you see. Notice these pathways, see? Like this. Notice all these pathways. All these are supposedly parallel sides, right? But they're converging at a point. This is where perspective comes into play. Perspective drawing comes into play. Okay? Now, for the next step. I want you to divide this entire building that you have, this entire space that you have. I want you to divide this into 3. Like this entire space, Thank you so much, Medha. See, you have the option of learning long time with me, not just every Sunday, even on weekdays I take classes. I will, after this workshop, I'll exactly tell you how you can be a part of my long-term classes as well. Thank you so much. It's a big compliment. So now from here, see, I've just erased this guideline here because now it's no longer needed. So just this guideline, you can just erase on the side. Now what you have is the height of the building, okay? This is the height of the building. I'm excluding the roof. This is the height of the building. You have to divide this into 3 parts. Why are we doing this? So that I can get the ground floor, first floor, and second floor. Okay. So Aditya, look here, ground floor, first floor, second floor. Okay. Just divide this into 3 parts. Okay. I have a ground floor. I have a first floor. I have a second. There. Now, do you notice how this is? I'm getting this floor division. I need to, but on this side as well, I need to show the floor. So how do we do? Sometimes if you're starting out, you might just show like this and it will not come. But from this point, okay, pay very close attention. This is super important. From this point where the floor meets to this vanishing point, you are going to draw connecting lines. Now this entire entity, this entire triangular space is the first floor. From this is the ground floor. From here till the vanishing point, you're pulling this again. This entire space is the first floor. This entire space is the second floor. It happens sometimes, right? When you're looking at a building from far, you almost feel as though they're slanting, and it's almost like they're receding to some point. How many of you have noticed this, observed this before? Yes. It's a very, what do you say, special effect. So that is perspective. This is the play of perspective drawing. That's here. Okay. Superb. Yes, exactly. It's an imaginary point, but we're just constructing it for drawing. Let's just cut this a little because I don't want the building to look like it's going all the way till there. So just a little far from here, I just want you to draw one line like this vertically so that I'm just cutting it and giving this a complete look. That's just cut it a little and give this a complete look. Give this and cut. Just cut it a little and give this a completed look. Just this has to be straight. Now, one important thing to note here is that all these vertical lines now, they have to be straight. They have to be perpendicular like this. This should not slant. At no way this should slant, okay? It should not slant like this, should not slant like this, should not slant anyway. Yes, Gurpreet, it's going to come out very well. It should not slant in any ways. It has to be straight. Has to be straight. Now, let's add a little bit of details into each one of these floors. So what can you see on the ground floor? I can see a door. So for the door, let's add a triangle, a small triangle here. I mean, not a triangle, I mean a rectangle here, a door. Okay, just here adding a slide door here. I can see a board here with Diamond Factory written, right? So you can just draw the board. See, here it will be written Diamond Factory. So I'm just adding a rectangle there. And I can see a window, correct? So just make these 3 shapes now. One vertical rectangle, second 2 horizontal rectangles. So this is the door, window, and the board. Over this door, I can just add the small shelter, like there is a small shade that's in, just you can just add that as well. Okay. Got it? See, now I have this. See, in no time, we've already reached the detailing and outlining for this. Let's add a window to this. Now for this window, what I want you to pay attention is here's where the small details are coming into play. You notice this door, this has a certain position, right? The windows you draw has to be in line with this door. As in, if I extended this line vertically upwards, just say, let's just extended this vertically. That is how the window here should be. It should be like I am stacking one above another. You understand? It should not be like one window here, second window suddenly slanting, going somewhere, third window somewhere there. This has to be in line. See? This in line with this, I'm adding the next window, another rectangle, a third window on top, which is yet another rectangle. See that? These three windows looks as though they are stacked one above one. I'll give you some time to catch up and of course have water, hydrate. Imagine you're standing there, right? You would want to drink water. Ready? What else can I do? I'm going to add a windmill here. It's Amsterdam, right? So how to draw the windmill? You draw a small round. Connecting that, you draw a shape like a fan. See? You draw a shape like a fan, like this. Connecting this, you draw a shape like a fan. And you can just add some thickness to this fan shape. So just draw a small circle connected with this and just add a fan shape. That's it. Okay. No worries, Nazu. You can be a part of the next session. Okay. And I'm also just like this, I added this fan. Okay. I'll just zoom in closely, little more closer so that you can have a look, so that you can have a closer look. You can also add another window. This I'm just adding it for my own thing. I'm just adding a small, I'm adding another window here. I'm just adding another window here like that. That's it. Okay. So now 3 floors with window, we have added a windmill. Notice how we can't see the inside. See, now you can see. I'm just bringing modifications. Okay. The windmill. Here's the windmill. It's a small windmill that's here. I just added it. And guys, I'm not making the exact same replica. I'm bringing some modifications. This is to make the drawing much more approachable for you. Next, over this, let's add a little bit of thickness into this. Okay, so there is this slant, there is this roof portion. I'm just adding a thickness as in here 1. See over this, you can just add a thick rectangle like this, just going here. Just add a thick rectangle here. Inside the triangle, just add one more triangle. A lot of times, when we draw, what happens is that we tend to pay attention to the details and leave out the essentials. I want you to slowly shift your approach and start paying attention to the basics first, and then finally draw the details. You will start looking at the signboards, you'll start looking at this, you'll start looking at everything. All those we'll add later. All those are elements we can add later. But if you don't have the structure of the building, how else are you going to do anything? Start with the basics. Start from a point, in fact, and build it from there. Now inside this, I'm just adding one more. There is a small structure here, so I'm just adding another rectangle. Here, okay, just adding another rectangle here. That's it. All right. Yeah, exactly, right? We get scared of the details, and then what happens then? We don't even try. I want to make this whole art approachable for you, demystifying it. On this side, there is a small chimney, so you can just add a small rectangle to show that there is a chimney, just a rectangle you can add on the side, and there's a chimney on the scene. Small chimney I'm just adding. Okay. Now it's time to add a little more details to this side. It's time to add some details to this door as well. So what I want you to do right now is, I want you to this side that is there. Okay, this right side, I want you to divide this into two parts like this. See, this entire side I'm dividing this into two parts. Now I have individual buildings here. This is a building, this is a building. And on each of those buildings, you just can add what? Doors and windows. So notice how I'm drawing the door. I'm just slanting this up a little to keep up with the side. See, if I'm drawing this window as well, I don't want you to just draw a simple rectangle like this. Okay, don't do this. But instead, I want you to slant the sides, the top and the bottom sides, to make it parallel to this. See, make the top and the bottom parallel to this. See, this is here. I want you to make this top parallel to this, top of the door parallel to this. Similarly, there is another window here. So I want you to make this parallel to this. In reality, it is not parallel. There is vanishing point and perspective coming at play. But of course, I mean, it will get too complicated if I start going too much into details. So let's keep it simple. This top of the window, you're keeping it parallel to the top of the building. This bottom of the window, keeping it parallel to the bottom of this, and you have this. Similarly, this top parallel to this top, this here parallel, this top parallel, and that's how you do it. Okay, getting it? Do the same thing on the next side as well. The same thing. Don't change anything. The top, just keep it parallel to the top. Similarly, just keep it parallel to this. Similarly, this one. Very good. See. So now, wow, Ray, we actually got the building. You see that? Without even trying hard, we got the building. Just a few lines, windows, doors. Do you notice how the slanting of the window on the sides is instantly giving this a look, a 3D look? I want you all to now turn on your cameras and show me what you made. Let's see, all of you turn on your cameras and show me what you made. Simple, right? Amazing. Lovely work, Kajol, Aditya, Ramya, of course, Bandana. Yes, Ajmal, loving it. Nupur, superb. Aditya, amazing. Ekta, yes, Ekta. Ekta and Pepper Fry. You've been part of my classes before, right? I think so. Yes. Geeta, Anjana, Yamini, superb work, guys. Don't worry if I'm not calling out your names because I'll not be able to call each one of you, but yes, all of you got it right. Just pay attention to these things. These are the areas where a lot of you can go wrong. Make sure these sides are vertical. They are not slanting. Make sure these sides are parallel. See, this is parallel to this. This is parallel and in line. This is parallel and in line. This is parallel. The top is parallel. Here top is parallel. Here also top is parallel. Just ensure that the sides, see, this is straight and parallel. Ensure that there is unnecessary slant or slope. Just correct any of those if that is it. That's just it. Okay. Now we have this building here. Let's make this, let's add a little bit more, or what do you say? Let's add a little bit more interest to this. So on this one, I wanted to just simply raise this up a little more, just slightly raise this up. Add one slant like this and one cut like this to just give it that sloping roof look. Raise it up, one slant and one straight cut. Similarly, raise it up, add one slant and one straight cut. Just a small detail you're just adding on the top of this two. Straight, slant, cut. Straight, slant, cut. See, horizontal cut, slant, straight. Horizontal cut, slant, straight. That's it. Now we have this as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the right towards the left side. So here, you can now erase off the lines you had drawn previously. You can just erase off the lines inside the building. And just like this, I wanted to divide this into 3 parts. See, here, 3 parts. Connect. Don't draw parallel lines, okay? Please do not draw parallel lines. But from the point here, essentially, you're just pulling this out. See, inside the building, pay attention to what sides are parallel to. See, this I've basically first erased the previous lines, replace them with new lines, which I got by dividing this into 2 parts, like dividing this into 3 parts and connecting the vanishing point to this. Same as we did here, right? I connected the point and I just pulled this out. Same, I'm connecting the point and I'm pulling this out. Except this side has no front face, that's it. This side does not have a front face. That's just it. Okay. You're going to do a lot of things you didn't realize that you did. Okay. So now what are you going to do? You're going to basically connect. What I did was that I want you to, we are doing the same thing that I did on this side, except here we connected, we divided the point and drew these divisions and then did the rest. Here you're just going to divide it from here, okay, from this side, you're just going to divide this into 3 parts. From the vanishing point, connect and push this out. To vanishing point, connect and push this out. Getting there? Connect and push this out. See, from the vanishing point, this has to connect and come. So you'll get something like this. All right, that's just it. How to decide the vanishing point. That is a little more advanced concept. Like I said, I will not be able to, it will not be practical for me to explain everything in depth just in the single session. I'll be telling you about a master class which you can join after this. Stay till the end. I'll tell you how you can learn. Now here, I wanted to divide this into 2 parts. I want to divide this into 2 parts. And just as we did the windows and doors here, you're going to do the same. I'm going to place one door here. See, raise this up, keep this parallel, keep this slanting to this. Slant, slant. Similar to this, raise this up, make sure this is parallel. These two on the sides are parallel to the sides. These two on the top and bottom are parallel to these 2 sides respectively. See, these 2 sides parallel to the left and the right, the top parallel to the top, bottom parallel to the bottom. And that's how you do it. Okay. Same thing here. In fact, if you want, you can make 2 windows if you want, or just make 1. See. If you just want to go a little more minute, you just draw 2 windows like I'm doing here. The same thing, just repeating the top, bottom side, the 2 windows, the top, bottom side, and then I'm just adding another door on this side to just ensure that this is parallel to this and it stops. That's left. So I'll just give you some time to catch up. Wow. The left and the right side, right? We have the city here. How many of you think this is beautiful? You're proud of what you made. I'm not talking about my drawing, I'm talking about what you made. You're proud of what you made. And you actually got it, see? We did it. We're nearly there. We just need to go into add a few more details and we're nearly there. So take your time, catch up. We have time. Make sure this is parallel is going here, this is parallel and it's coming here. These two sides are parallel, these two sides are parallel, and they are connecting well to this, okay? There you go. Let's recap our journey. We started from the vanishing point. We pulled the lines, and then I had asked you to make the rectangular grids, and using those connecting the rectangular grids, you drew the remaining drawing. Once you had the building, you started adding the doors and the windows to complete the building. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a few more buildings inside here. So I'm going to slightly zoom in so you can see clearly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm zooming in because this area is what matters right now. Inside this, okay, inside this, see there is a lot of lines. I just erase them a little to give you a little more clarity. Okay, from this, first is you just need these connecting lines. Secondly, you are simply going to raise this, cut this, cut this. Just going to cut it at the edge like I did here. Just slightly cut it at the edge like I did here. And complete this side. See, complete this shape, this parallelogram like shape by cutting it. And on top of this, you're going to add a side like this. And that's going here. And you can simply complete the shape. See, basically you divided this and then outside of this you extended, completing the shape. You're going to add similar windows. So now at this point, these are very small windows and doors, but keep them very small. See, here I'm adding small windows and doors here. Here also just drawing these small windows coming here. It's these small windows and you have this. Or let's do one thing. I think this inside this part is an excess. I'm just removing this here. I'm just deleting it. Okay, I'm just erasing this part. Just keep this building on the left side. That's it. Just building on this left side and you can. This is enough. That's your. Okay. So now I have this building. Let's add a few more details inside this to just make it add some depth here. So on the top right, I'm just adding another little bit of thickness on the top side. And on this side as well, you're just going to add a small thicker rectangle slab here to just give this that look. I do not know, but the way I cannot give the way that AI is growing, I do not know. But one thing I can guarantee you that AI is AI after all, right? AI, bots, all that come. We humans intuitively trust humans more than AI. I am pretty sure that you will not trust an AI bot to teach you step by step as an instructor and build that emotional connection that you would have with a human instructor here. Okay, so no problem. So now here, what I'm going to do is from these windows, there is one very important function that the roofs and the windows of this does. Can you tell me what this is? They have water spouts. What the water spouts does is when the water goes, they just fall down and they fall here so that it does not leak down on the building and create havoc. So from each one above these windows, it's just going to pull one line slanting. See, just there are these small, this water spouts, just pull this out like this. See, same on the top as well. Just pull this out from each one above the window and just pull this out. I mean, you don't have to be very specific about this, but just do that. Okay. Lovely. Now I'm moving on to the floor here, so just darken this a little more and similarly from the point. So what I did was above these windows and on this roof, I'm just pulling horizontal lines out. See, like that. Just pulling horizontal lines out so that I can get this. See, just pulling this windows out so I can get this. You see that? Just pull horizontal short lines so that they act like these water spouts. Like just place them above the windows and on the top of the building. That's it. Okay. From the point, you're going to draw one more line, just like you did here, one more line just coming outside to complete the payment. Similarly, you're completing this payment here. I wanted to draw a line at the center like this to just show the zebra crossing in this one. There is a small box here on the side just showing the plants. So I can do that as well. Just add a, see, these are minute details just on this side. Just adding a small rectangle. I'll show you how to later draw the plants and everything. But on this side, you can just add a small box. There is a signboard, cycle, walkway, and everything. Let's draw that as well. So how to draw the signboard? Draw a line at this, draw a vertical line like this. From here, just connect the vertical line like this. Okay. And draw circles on top. See, just zooming in so you can see more clearly. By the side of this door, I'm drawing one vertical line and I'm drawing 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. See that? So now these have become the signboards. See? Just draw a vertical line and draw 3. Now don't bother what you're going to write inside this and everything. Just draw this. Done? Now what is remaining in this drawing? Tell me. We have nearly made the entire drawing in pencil outline, but what is remaining next? People, right? People add life to the drawing. And I don't want to miss drawing out the people here. So let's draw the people. When you're drawing human figure, see, human figure can get a very complex topic or it can get very simple depending on how detailed you want to go. On a fundamental level, I'll show you how a human figure you need to draw. On a fundamental level, the human body, okay? Pay attention, you don't have to draw, just pay attention. The human body has a head, a body, and legs, correct? Head, body, and legs. I can draw arms also. This is your basic human figure. From this point, you can go here and you can, from this point, you can go here or you can go, you can draw very detailed superhuman figures. There's a lot you can do here. When you're making this drawing, how to draw the human figure here is that, okay, so look at me as I'm going to first draw it out for you, and then we'll do it together. Draw the head, a circle. Draw this, what do you call this shape? This slightly slanted cone, this something like a cut cone like this for the body. For the legs, pull one rectangle out, one rectangle going to the side, and you can draw two to the side. See, now doesn't this not look like a person who's walking? I can, if I want, I can add details of the shoes, I can add the head, I can add the hoodies, I can draw anything, and I can give this some more details and look. I can draw the friend, I can draw two people walking like this. But you see, basically just draw a circle, head, a cone-like shape for the body, or a rectangle for the body, the legs. You can make the legs longer than the body. The body has to, of course, be longer than the head. The legs has to be longer than the body. The exact proportion is that the human figure is 7 heads tall, 7x tall, and the human body is 7x tall. And this is where it is, okay. Let's do this on this plot. Now the place from where you start the human figure is very important. The place that I am going to start from is the vanishing point. So this vanishing point is where you're going to draw the head. See, on the vanishing point, or slightly above it, you're going to draw a circle for the head. Okay, slightly above the vanishing point or on it. Just draw a small circle for the head. Draw the shape of the body like I had told you how to. You can add the legs. See, just ensure that the legs are longer than the body. You can add the shoes here. Just make them, see, don't make them like giants. Draw a small head here and draw the remaining of the body accordingly. See, notice how this person fits within the street, and similarly here as well. Just do this with pencil. And there you go. So congratulations, with that we have completed the penciling part of this. Easy? Yes. Easy. Comment in easy if you've been able to get this so far. This is 50% of the drawing. We have made the penciling part. Not 50, I can say almost 70% of the drawing. We made this. The next. It's not done. Okay, don't leave. I mean, Pranav is saying thanks and all, I'm leaving. Don't leave yet. We still have to ink the drawing. We have to complete. There's a long way that we have to go in this. I'll teach you how to ink. I'll teach you how to add the ink, how to add this. But before that, let's take some time to explore the scope of this, the scope of what is possible with this. Shall we do that? So take your time, catch up, complete the drawing, draw the signboards, draw this, draw anything. So I'm going to slightly shift you. I want you to pay your attention to what is possible with this. Have a look at this. Devi Sukumar. She was one of my students. And this is not my drawing. Okay, I'm not the kind who just puts my drawing and tells it's my student's drawing. So she started with a simple session like this. And in a 21-day transformation challenge, this is what she made. How many of you can recognize this place? Let me know in the chat box. What is this place? It's from your favorite franchisee in childhood. What is it? Harry Potter, Gringotts Bank, right? The Gringotts Bank in Harry Potter. Oh, look at this. Starting from a simple cup. You go here. And how much time did it take? 20 days. How cool is this? Imagine going from here to here. and so much more. I had on a previous one that held a perspective drawing masterclass, and in that we learned about 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, drawing aerial views, and this is what people made. All of them were complete beginners, and this is just the glimpse of what's possible, what is more to come. How if you're excited by the possibilities, what's going to come, and what all you can do if you, even if you're a complete beginner, right? We learn about this, that art is a talent and it's only for some gifted few. Over the time, people have mystified it. I don't believe in talent. I don't believe in talent. I believe in patience. I believe in hard work. I believe in persistence. I'm going to take 5 minutes and show you a piece of my own life, my own journey. How, from where I started, and how I learned over time. You can have water. So I started my sketching journey around college. I used to draw before time in school. I used to make drawings, and I like making artwork. I was a dancer before this, and I used to make a lot of these sketches and this to just document my dance journey. I would make a lot of these diagrams and everything. I would make a lot of these diagrams, like I tried different things. I was an art enthusiast. This is one of the Shivas that I'd made when I was in 11th and 12th standard, and I'm very proud of it then. So like some of you might have even seen this on Pinterest. So I did this when I was in 11th standard. That must be almost 11 years ago. I started doing art more consistently during my college times. When I was doing architecture, I started making a lot of sketches on the board. So I would make sketches of people there. I would do this. Then I would, I enjoy traveling. I enjoy travel sketching. I would go around. I would make these simple sketches like this. Look at this. Like I made these sketches here. This is in Kanyakumari. So I made this sketch on the spot, 10 minutes, and I would write about it, I would document. I would share them on Instagram. I was this complete artistic kind of person who was buzzing and active around. I hardly paid any attention to college, and I do not regret it. So I would make a lot of these drawings like this. And after I tremendously enjoyed this journey, and I tremendously enjoyed sharing things. After a long time of doing this, I realized that I need to take it up a little more. That, I'm just getting a little saturated, and I need to push my level, bring my level up a little more. So from making drawings like these or these, this was a waterfall that I had done in Kodaikanal, Silver Falls. From making simple drawings like this, nothing exceptional, right? I decided to spend some time, and the same drawing I could make like this. I decided to spend some more time. I thought that this wasn't enough and it can amp it up. And this is what I could do. The same waterfalls. You don't like this? I'm not seeing any responses. So this is completely hand-drawn with thing, completely this. Over time, I explored different ventures. I tried different styles of art. I experimented with watercolors. You can see I tried with watercolors. I tried with a lot of abstract art. I would make art themed around spirituality. This is a Ganesha that I've drawn. I've even done acrylic colors. I've done different art styles all the time, and most of this I did during my college. I mean, even before the days of exam, I would sit and I would draw. By the final year, I had almost 35 back papers 1 year back. And I knew that I wanted to make a future out of art. But I exactly just did not know how. When the first lockdown came, COVID came, I saw an opportunity. And I started taking art classes. First session was in August 2020. And I started teaching art for 3 people. I would teach them how to draw, and I could bring tremendous results in them. It slowly went on to become a 2nd batch, 3rd batch, 4th batch. And now it's been 2 years. The journey has been amazing. This is your break. I'm giving you a break. You didn't realize this or what? We were drawing continuously for 1 hour. It is for giving you a break only. I'm taking you through my journey. You need to take your mind off it, right? I tried different styles, I tried different forms, watercolors, acrylics, but more than anything, what has always stayed with me and has stuck with me is the travel sketches. I loved it for its simplicity. I could just sit at a cafe and I could draw for hours and hours on it. I didn't need anything special. I just needed a pencil and a few pens. These are pens. These are made with fine liner pens. Adi, this is the sketch that I showed you in the starting of the slide. Humpy. Yes. Velangani. Mahabalipuram. And this and the one that's following this are two of my favorites. The OG Buddha. This is a granite sculpture that I've seen in Mahabalipuram, and I absolutely fell in love with it. The artist wasn't a very famous one, but I could see that he had put his heart and soul into creating it. And I did, and this is something I tried. So I tried bringing the granite texture on it. Yes. So it's been an amazing journey. And I'm honored that today I have another opportunity here on the Sunday morning. I have this opportunity here to share a piece of this journey with you and to help you get there as well. And I want to tell you all that this is possible. This is 100% possible. If from a complete beginner, you have been able to create this, the next journey ahead is also going to be as smooth. So are you all ready? Are you all ready to take the next step with me? Give me an X in the chat box if you are excited and ready to start the next step, your ink. So hope you got enough break, have water, you're ready, and you're set for the next step, okay? Suchitra, that's the name of my mom. That's amazing. Okay. So now you might be asking me, what material do I need? I don't have any of the tools. You don't need any material. You only need a gel pen. Okay. If you can use a ballpoint pen if you do not have a gel pen. I would prefer a gel pen because it has a much more smoother flowing ink. It's got a smoother flowing ink. Now, I'm going to first draw an outline to this. So you can start drawing an outline. I have fine liners. If you have fine liners, you can use them. If you have fine liners, use them. You can use a 0.1 or a point. If you have, I'm assuming you might know how to use them as well. So you can use accordingly. If not, just use a pen. And now I'm going to zoom into this drawing only because you no longer need the reference. I'm going to zoom into the drawing. I'm going to start outlining them. So let's start with the person itself. Let's start with the people itself. I'm just going to draw the face. So here I have the body. So you can just add this ink outline here. Let's make it a little shady and this. Do not erase the pencil line because once we complete this, we can erase the pencil lines. But first, as we are drawing now, I just want you to draw focus on drawing VC. Just outlining this one, the legs. So you can add the shoes. It's not all refined, and that's the beauty of it. You don't have to make it refined, right? You're sketching. So sketching is about that quickness, that spontaneity that you bring. Do not think about making everything perfect. Every line has to be on point. Some of the lines can be a little sloppy. Some of them can go, but that's okay. Similarly to this path, I'm going to just draw. See? Try to complete them in a single line as much as possible. This outline, basically over every part, significant part you've drawn with pencil, you're simply outlining them here. See that? Over every significant part, as in why significant and insignificant. You have previously drawn a lot of guidelines which are not needed. For example, here you can still see some of those guidelines. Do not ink over them. Here now, remember that these lines you're making, these are solid. And there is nothing you can do to erase them. So be careful on what lines you're drawing. See, I'm just drawing this. I'm not drawing, I'm also drawing the division between the floor. You can do that. You can draw the windows. There is no right or wrong order to do this, okay? Just because I am starting from this corner, I'm going doesn't mean you have to do it. You can do it your way, but basically just outline over everything that you draw. You can do it in the ways that you're comfortable with. Oh, that's very unfortunate, Divya. See that? Just complete this. Basically, over what you've drawn, I just want you to outline. That's it. Here as well, I can see this. Be very careful as you're doing that. Draw them one line at a time. When you're drawing with pencil, you can go ahead and you can draw, you can shade like this. You can just keep on drawing like this and it's all right. But with pen, you should not do like this because it will start looking very shabby. Try drawing them in single lines, which is why we initially penciled. Because see, one line, again, one line. I want you to, you can even say this as a mantra. One line, as you're telling this. Bring your complete attention and focus only on the line. Bring your complete energy, attention, and focus only simply on drawing this line here. Let's draw the door here. Here I can see the windows. Let me add the windows. You couldn't join in for last 1 hour, my God. You made the entire drawing by now. I don't know, like at this point, I don't think you'll be able to catch up as well because we've done a lot in the last 1 hour. Okay. So now here, outside of this as well, the same thing that you've done, I want you to do on the right side as well. Just give this a solid outline. See? This far end as well. You can add the outline over these. Let's draw these windows. I'm just picking up random points and I'm drawing. It's not like you have to do only from here. Otherwise, you'll be wrong. At the end, ensure you draw every part and you do them right. You don't have to draw the details. I'll show you how you can add the details inside this, how you can add the grills inside the windows. Just make a very basic outline. That's it. Pencil, you're translating them to pen. Slowly here on this board, so you can draw the board here. There is a board here. Just carefully draw. Make sure that each of these circles are of the same width when you're doing them. There is this portion inside. You can do that. This one of the most commonly asked question is, can I slant my book while drawing? Of course you can, don't worry. You can slant your book while drawing. That's completely up to you. I am not slanting, but I'm of course moving chair. I'm sitting in a very comfortable ergonomic chair where I can move around. So if you want, you can just slant your book like this. It's all right. I mean, at the end of the day, why does that even matter? Carefully one line here you add. Let's draw the windows. So now you're making these features a permanent part of the plant box. Here's the board saying Diamond Factory. Here is a windmill. Carefully add this and a window here. Just draw over them. This rectangle, and there's another rectangle that's coming here. Similarly here. Let's add this triangle here. See, just draw over them carefully, one line at a time, just draw over them. Okay. So now, by now, you should have completed the pen outline. I'll give you some time. Have water. I'll give you 2 minutes to just catch up. Take your time. Over this, just complete the pen outline. It's your drawing at this point. Done? Give me a yes in the chat box after you made the pen outline of the drawing. See, some of you, perhaps this might be a thought that's going on inside many of your minds that, okay, so I'm drawing light, but here, how long have we been sitting here? We started at 10. Now it's almost 1.5 hours. Will it take me this long to make a drawing? Then I'll never actually be able to make a drawing on the spot. It's not practical. It is because right now, there is a lot of storytelling that's going on. I took you through meditation. I shared you through my stories. There's a lot of time I'm taking for instructing. I'm waiting for you and you're all learning. But with practice, the entire penciling with thinking will take you less than 20 minutes. Once you understand and once you practice. I think 20 minutes is a good enough time, right? You're all ready to spend 20 minutes making a drawing if you had to sketch a place like, right? I do not understand why you're saying I'm not audible, because my sound system is working pretty fine. Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Audible, right? It's audible. Yes, loud and audible, right? Perhaps just check your sound output if you can't hear me. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now here, now that we have this done, ready? Yes. I'm moving on to the next step. I'm moving on to the next step of hatching, shading, and all that. All right. Okay. So now here, we are going to start detailing. Oh, you want me to wait? Okay, I'll just give you one moment. Please make it fast. So pay attention to each of the areas, what you wanted to draw, what you wanted to correct. Like ensure that what you're drawing is in one line, because the lines that you make with this, literally you can't do anything about it. Did you draw those in my journal? So some I drew them live, some I drew them taking a photograph and then going to another place and completing, because many of the drawings takes lots of time. Like the Buddha you saw, it took me more than 90 hours to complete. I did not have anyone to teach me. I did not have anyone to teach me, so I had to figure it out on my own. And it took me a long time to understand. So I took a lot of photographs and then drew. Okay. Ready? Ready? Let's go. Ready, Arno? Let's go. Super. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to detail. And I'm going to detail what is most important. What is most important. So let's look at this here. I'm going to start with this right building because there's a lot of details I can add here. You can, I'm paying this and only this side. Both of this you can now see both sides on the screen. Okay. So let's start with this here. First, make a division, like a horizontal band like division, make here. It's just like a nice horizontal. Band division. Then you're going to, you can draw these small fence like elements here. See, small, beautiful detailings that are here. You can draw them. You can in fact complete this with this band and then a line and just inside this, just from the top and between the bottom. Just draw the small fence. Okay. And you can write here. You can write here in bold letters. Diamond. How much is it dependent on proportion? I will say it is 80–90% on proportion. If you don't get the proportion right, the entire drawing is off. 100%, in fact, I can say proportion is what matters. Now here, just inside this, you can see these small, beautiful patterns, these prints. So just draw these lines, vertical lines. Just pull your pen. See, pull your pen vertically like that. One line up, and just pull your pen. Like don't scribble, but just draw them. You can complete the pattern here inside by just adding a small square and adding these. Just creating the door effect here. Let's similarly draw these windows. Draw a line at the center and draw these grid lines showing the window. See, we are adding only basic details, but just those basic details are enough. Similarly, you can add details along these windows. So I'm dividing this into two parts and I'm dividing this also into two parts. See, the same thing you can do on the window on the top. Divide this into two parts. Divide this into two parts. So now I have these windows. Let's give a small border outside these windows to give it a thicker frame. And with that, I have these windows. Similarly, a border outside of this. Draw all these exclusively, and don't worry if your lines are just going a little slant, it's going all over the place, that's all right. Let's add these lines here. And I want to add some shading on this. Okay, I'm not happy that this is just, it's white, it's all white. I want to give it a little bit of shading. Typically with pencil, if you were to shade, you will shade like this. With pencil, if you were to shade, you will shade like this, correct? But with pen, I can't do that. With pen, if I continue doing that, I'll just be creating a black box and I don't like it. It's not looking good. So what do we do? You're going to draw hatches or strokes inside the see. Notice here, inside this gap, I wanted to just draw vertical lines that are parallel, that are close, and you put them together inside the scene. Parallel lines very close together, vertical, to draw them parallel. See, follow me, one line after another. I don't want any one of you to just draw one like this, just scribble like this, because this is the part that can really beautify the drawing. Patiently. Just the top view, just these first and the second floor, patiently, you're just going to. Beside the windmill as well, you can just draw them. Just put these hatches here to fill up the space. Very close together. Ensure that your lines are put together very close. And see, notice how suddenly you're adding a new level of depth and detail into it. This is just one way of shading. There are numerous ways of shading. When you're starting out, this is a very effective way of adding a lot of details and depth in a short time over a large area. You can do cross hatching, you can do, there are so much things that you can do into this, like you can add cross hatching. There are so many things that you can do on this, okay? But for now, this will do. Similarly, just as I did this, you can shade on this side as well. See, just on the angle of the building. No. As in, you just need to vertically hatch them vertically. That's why I'm asking you to just draw them vertically, because then the angle will not really come into play when you're hatching. Just draw this, just fill these gaps here like this. See? These gaps, just fill them, vertical strokes very close together and put them. There you go. Inside these gaps, if you want, you can add in some strokes. Just stimulate a little bit of shading inside here. Just put some strokes, and you create this amazing shaded look. We can add some grooves over this. So just over this to just create that effect of the tile, just draw these, put these strokes inside here to get that effect of the tile. See? This is called texturing. You're basically using lines and strokes to create textures. You can similarly add these textures here. See that? Just put these lines in 2 sets. Let's cover this portion as well. The chimney, just putting another set of lines over this. I'm self-taught. As in, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, learned on my own, watching a lot of YouTube videos, reading books, and experimentation. So we have these signboards here. So we can just add these small symbols on the signboards. Like here it's written 2.3 meters. Here it's written 6 meter width. You can see a small emblem of a cycle. You can just make these small symbols inside this. And inside these windows as well, you can just make the division like how we had done. See? And finally, I'm just going to add a much thick outline to ensure that this is all done and clear. Like a nice thick outline here on outside, you can just add to just give that final polish look. See, this is shading. This is hatching. How is it coming for you? Nice and smooth. You're all creating professional level art at this point. The same thing you can do on the side as well. So similarly, you can just add these windows, divisions, just quickly make those divisions for the windows. Like you can add the vertical, horizontal. See, notice how the horizontal bars are just slanting to the roof. And on this side, again, fill this with closely spaced parallel vertical strokes. Ensure that the strokes are vertical and they are parallel. Similarly here, see that? Yes, Medha. The magic, you're going to see it once you complete. So complete this, fill this inside here. See, all these gaps, you're just filling this with closely spaced lines. That is why I said you need to have a gel pen because they are pretty smooth in their working. Like if you have a ball pen also, try to get the lines as smoothly on the paper as possible. Like it should not look rough. It should not look like the lines are all over the place. Ensure the lines are parallel as you draw them. They're also just parallel. Strokes that you put together. See, Put them tight. The bottom floor, I'm just leaving it white to just give it the distinction, that white and black look. Otherwise, everything is, if done in the same way, is not going to look good. So just going to give it that look. You can just add a few boards here. You can just add a few signboards here. There is another signboard that's coming here. And then over these windows, you can just shade a little darker above these windows to just give that frame. Shade a little darker. And your drawing at this point should look like this. Adding a few lines inside here to just give this complete. You can add a couple of boards on top. Just fill this basically. Here you can just add a few horizontal lines here, see? That gives it another look. Just add a few horizontal lines on this side. Here also you can just add few lines parallel to the top, see? Parallel to the top. Here, horizontal lines on the side. Here, vertical lines. Basically, the direction of the hatching depends upon what is it that you want to create. Like for sometimes you might want to create the, sometimes you want to show the vertical effect. Sometimes you want to show the horizontal effect. Sometimes you might want to show a different look for it. Basically, the direction of the hatches or the strokes that you're putting, hatches are directional lines that you're putting. It has to depend upon what is it that you're trying to show. Okay. Awesome. What is it? A building so chosen center and draw vertical lines and the outcome is wonderful. When it comes to face, how to draw. Very good question. But that's again another detailed topic. I mean, there are, see, even the face and proportions, you can draw using guidelines, Pujika. You can draw the same face proportions, portraits, everything using guidelines. It's 100% possible. But the challenge here is that they have a different set of rules. You have to understand facial proportions. You have to understand anatomy. You have to understand the technique to drawing the features. So unless you get them right, it will not be possible. Okay. Let's add a next set of details here. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to draw the people. I'm going to just shade the people. How to shade the people? The person that you've drawn, fill this with diagonal strokes. See, diagonal strokes fill the drawing. Like basically this person, fill with diagonal strokes. See, notice how I'm putting these diagonal strokes on the paper to fill this. That is what I want you to do. Fill this with diagonal strokes. That is to give this again a distinct look. See, if I draw this vertically, then it will look like the building. If I draw this horizontally, next we'll do the floor. And I'll show you how to draw the floor. Then it will look like, it will look like the floor. But giving this diagonal strokes makes this stand out. So basically fill both the people here with diagonal strokes. And most importantly, I want you to give this a solid outline. Just basically press the pen on the outside and give this a nice thick solid line. Press the pen. Now try and give this a nice solid look. See, that will just give this person a nice solid look. Adding the outline. It may help them stand out. Here. Let's draw the floor now. Okay. I want to ensure that you're all with me so far, that I'm not going so fast, that you can't catch up. I want to ensure you're all with me. So give me a yes in the chat box if you're all with me, that you're now ready to take the next step. The next step, I'm going to show you how to draw the floor. So the floor has a lot of distinct patterns. We'll draw much more basic representation of the floor. Okay. The workshop is till, I want you all to stay with me till 1 p.m. It's been mentioned. But are you all hungry? Are you in a hurry to leave? You have to choose if you are hungry for food or you're hungry for art. You're hungry for art, you have to sacrifice. You're going to have to stay with me. Okay? Hungry for art. Those who are hungry for art can stay. All right? Superb. So now I'm going to add the flows and other details. Okay? So here I just want you to place horizontal lines. You make sure that these lines are horizontal. It should not slant. It should not go off crooked. Straight horizontal lines on either side. See? Horizontal lines. Suddenly you notice how by adding horizontal lines, I'm able to get the horizontal look for the feel. Horizontal look and feel for the flow. That is the magic of lines. Basically every direction on the lines you add, they have a different purpose. They have a different purpose to it. Starting the center pathway here. And in between on this road as well, we can just draw these lines. Horizontal lines, okay guys? And what you're going to do is, from the point, you're going to pull out a few lines, thus making this look like a tile. See? From the point, see now notice suddenly, does this not look like tiles that you're seeing on the floor? From the vanishing point, just pull these lines out. I'm modifying it a little because I'm not giving this a Flemish look that is here, that'll get very complex. I'm just keeping this simple for you. Now, what are we going to do next? Let's give a little more shading for the pavers. Let's add some shade for the pavers as well. I'm going to first start from this side. Do you notice how on this side there is a little bit of the shadows, the building that's coming, there is the shadows that's falling. You can see all the different shades and shadows that's here. Like you can see this shade that's falling. You can actually see this coming. So here, what I want you to do is, I want you to add similar shade. And how to shade? You're going to shade with horizontal line. So just inside this here, I want you to simply fill this side with horizontal lines. See? Just basically draw lots of horizontal lines on this side to give this the nice shaded look. See? Horizontal lines that you're putting here and on this side, just basically draw a lot of, and remember all these lines are parallel and they have to go straight horizontal lines. The left side, you can also do the same. On the right side, you can also do the same. On the left side. So to give that, now the pavers, the look of the pavers is complete as well. You can darken, you can add some more strokes just closer to the building to give this a shadow like effect. See? Just add a little more strokes next to the signboard and the buildings and to everything that is there. Just add a few more strokes and suddenly you get a nice shaded effect. Just close to the building, just touch and flick. That's it. Just touch and pull the pen. See how you're getting this effect? Now you're getting a nice shaded effect. Very easy, right? Wow, Ray, look at this, how far we reached. We're now going to add, I'll give you time to ask questions and then. We're now going to add a final few street elements. Shall we do that? Yes a final few elements to give this that drawing that aced look, the finished look. Okay, let's go. What about people in the background? So there's not a lot of people I'm drawing, but if you want to show people, you can just show that again. You can just show you how to quickly show some people in the background. Just add a smaller circle here, the same level as a vanishing point, and draw smaller bodies and smaller legs. See, you want to show people in the background. Just draw directly with pen. There are a lot of people here, right? You can just show the people here. There are some people here. For this side, see, just add a same level. Draw small head, much more. See, small head and small bodies here on this. So just show, we can show some more people in the background and coming here, and you can do that. Okay. Here also you can add. There is no limit. I mean, you can keep on adding as many people as you want. You're going to add a few street elements here, starting from this plant. So first on this plant, number one, draw a box like this. If we have not done it already, please draw a box like this in this shape. Please quickly draw a box on the side. On this side, just pull lines horizontal. On this side, pull lines that are parallel here. We're going to add a little bit of plant here. So the easiest way to show plant is basically the thing that you are most comfortable with, just scribble. On top of this, just scribble. See, with your pen, just doodle these scribbles, and then suddenly notice how it's suddenly looking like a plant. See, there aren't a lot of trees on this, but on a previous drawing that we had made, we had actually, in fact, drawn a lot of trees. I'll show you how in detail you can add trees, but the easiest is just basically just doodle and scribble over this, and you get this look. You get this look for the planters. Easiest way, draw plant. We can add a few lights and other elements into this. So connecting both of these. Okay, just connecting both of these, I want you to just draw one string-like structure. On top of this, you can add a bulb. See? Final looks that we are bringing in. Let's add another one here. One more bulb. This time slightly smaller. You can add a third one, a little further, and a very small bulb. Each bulb you draw, make them progressively small because you're seeing them further. See? Bulb. Let's add a few birds on this. Okay. I'm going to add a few birds on this. I'm feeling a little adventurous and I want to add a few birds. How to show birds? Just put V. See? Birds always fly in groups. You just put a little bit of V and you can feel this. You can see this monster and the birds are flying away. Now here comes my favorite part of the drawing. My absolute favorite part of the drawing. And that is, I'm going to erase off the entire work. As in, don't worry, not the pen part. When I erase, I'll basically be erasing the pencil lines. Thus, the drawing will give lot of the dirty lines that are initially there will go. I'll be able to get the drawing rid of that. And I will be having a much clearer output. Which is just clean up your drawing basically. Just use an eraser and clean up the drawing. If you do not have an eraser, don't worry. You can later on get an eraser and just do this. I mean, this is an added step that you can do to brighten up. Suddenly you notice the drawing's lit. Because why? A lot of unnecessary lines no longer are there. Basically over the entire drawing, just clean up. Follow clean up process about the entire drawing. A few diagonal lines like this to just show the pathway, a little bit of cross hatching, and there you go. But hey, I think I missed something. Can anyone tell me what is missing in my drawing yet? Comment. What is missing? What is it? Sign. Yes. Take ownership. Literally take ownership over here. This. Sign. Soul. I sign with my pen name Soul, but you can take ownership over your drawing and sign them using your signature. Take ownership over your drawing, guys. So see, Tanmay, it's a good question, rainy weather. If you want to show overcast sky, you can do that by hatching the sky and showing them green. I'm not really telling you to do that today because when you're first starting out, it takes a little skill to get all the different techniques in place. In that case, you'll have to increase the contrast over the drawing. Then you'll have to create very controlled lines. You'll have to put them, there is a way to show that. Like you can actually do, like don't do this now, but I'm just showing you. You can just actually just give light hatches over the sky to give this a grayish tone. And that will count for the, see? And that will create an overcast weather. So there are things that you can do here, which I'm not really getting into this because I don't want it to complicate. I want to help you understand what's going on here. Superb, guys. I want to see all of your work. I want to see what all you have made. So turn on your camera. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Let's have a look at your work. Amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. Sharanya, what you've drawn. Superb. Spectacular. Loving it, loving it. Let's see. Let's see more. Bhavna, Anjali, Gurpreet, Gauri, Prakash. Loving it. Superb, superb, superb. Ajmal, let's have a look at Ajmal's work. Ajmal Hussain. Beautiful work, beautiful work, beautiful work. Sharanya, iPad, Nitesh. I like the use of bluing. So you can draw using bluing also. Irene has drawn using bluing. And this is amazing. See, you can draw using bluing also. There's no such rule that you have to draw only using black ink. You can draw using blue ink as well. Right? There's no such rule here. Let's go, guys. All of you, show me your drawing. So today's Sunday urban sketching workshop, we made this beautiful scenery of Amsterdam. And look at this. You can draw with any color, red, blue, green. Colors really are not that a problem here. You can draw using any color. Yes.
If you're watercolor enthusiast, after coloring, you can add a wash to it as well.
Yes, you can. You can add a wash over it, just add a light wash. You can do this. You can draw using alcoholic markers and all of that. So I'm just going to unmute the group. Oh yes, the group is unmuted, right? I want you all to share your work there. I want you all to share your work. I want you to share your experience. What have been your biggest takeaways from the session? Yes, I'll share. I'll share the other pick as well. What has been your biggest takeaways from the session? I'm going to now launch a poll. And I want you to tell me, how was your experience learning a completely new skill from scratch? From 1 to 10. How was your experience? And don't worry if your drawing is not, like if you're feeling your drawing is not enough and it's not matching up to my drawing or it's not matching up to someone else's drawing. That is irrelevant. That is irrelevant. Okay. What matters is how you felt, how present you felt, how proud you felt that you are doing. You are at a certain level and now you reached a certain level. It makes no sense to compare what I had drawn and what I had drawn in the sketchbook and tell that no, mine is not looking good enough. It took me a lot of practice to get there. The only competitor is with you. You have. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. More than 50% of you gave it a 10 out of 10 experience. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you here after the session here wants to learn, wants to join in, wants to take this skill to a new level, wants to understand more in detail, and wants to do that under my mentorship? I'm going to drop another poll. And you can answer yes or no. How many of you here want to take this on the next level? What we learned today was just one step of the process, one sketch, one single drawing. Yes, I love it that I can see Prav, Maya, Tara's daughter raising hands. Love it that all of you joined in. You joined in with as a family. It's amazing. What we did today was one session. It was one single session. And imagine what is possible. What is possible if you could do this for 2 sessions? If you could do this for 3 sessions, if you could do this for a week, if you could do this for a month, or if you could learn with me for lifelong. Imagine what's possible by you. So everyone who wants to learn more, who wants to understand more on how to take this to the next level, you can stay. For all of you, the workshop, as far as the drawing part is over, is over. The remaining portion, I'm going to explain to you how you can expand your skills, take it to the next level, and do it particularly under my mentorship. For everyone who wants to learn further, you can stay. The rest of you, the workshop is over and you are free to leave. I'll not be putting you back. All right. Superb. Do I also do botanical sketching? I'll tell that. I'll get there. And even besides, just stay. Even if you don't want to, just stay to understand what are the possibilities that is there. Now, coming back to this. Now you believe that you can make the right one instead of the left one. You can take the right one instead of the left one. It's not some myth. It's possible. Using the same techniques we learned, you can do so much more. It's no longer a rocket science. I've demystified the art for you. The possibilities of this does not end with one drawing. Some of you said that, someone said that, can you share the other drawings so you can get the practice? Some of you might want to practice on your own, but many of you are there that who wants to understand what's going on behind this here. I showed you all the drawings, but for each of the drawings that I did. So for example, this is a drawing that I have made. So for this drawing that I particularly made, It took me more than 45, 50 hours, 60 hours. Here. It took me lots and lots and lots of amounts of time, 90 hours, 100 hours. It took me like, I mean, I can't even tell you how much time it took me. And not to mention that the pain, the effort that I had to put through. And most importantly, I had to drop out of my college because I wanted to. I decided to devote all my time into this. And I wanted to share this knowledge with you. You don't have to do that. I've trained meditation under different schools. I learned art. I learned about productivity. I learned entrepreneurship. But you don't have to sacrifice anything. How many of you believe in mentoring? How many of you believe in learning and training? That you need a mentor in life to help you understand the parts that are difficult in your life. You need to understand about yourself and you need to understand about some topic in particular. Of course, all of you, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Well, some of you are like, it's just 99 rupees. So it's hello, let's just try. I'm free on a Sunday. Some of you would have been there, who's come with the casual approach and they've already left. It's okay. 180 people are registered for the workshop. Now less than 120 participants are here. So all of you here, I know that you definitely believe in having a mentor. Right? Yes, Ankita. Yes, Ankita. Absolutely. Welcome to my 1 month urban sketching workshop. Today, what you did in one session was just a simple glimpse. Now for taking this skill further, you will need more practice, more understanding, more techniques, and more learning. I've shown you the transformation before of Devi Sukumar, who was a homemaker, Tony, who's a fitness enthusiast. He works at a VP at a company, so you can see his transformation. You can see Paisha, who was a doctor, who went from making drawings like these to this. And most importantly, imagine the sense of accomplishment that you would feel if you could have this. How would your life change if you could make drawings like these? Sellers, that's why you made a drawing, but so what? Why does it mean for you? Perhaps some of you might share on Instagram, but beyond that, how is it going to change? Why does drawing matter for you? What does drawing mean for you? You got a glimpse of it in the session. The amount of confidence that you felt, the energy that you felt from the one session. I'm pretty sure that for a lot of you, it's after a long time you're actually learning something and you're creating something, correct? Perhaps any of you must have attended workshops during COVID, during lockdown, but after that, yes. Some of you, it takes you back to your childhood. It brings a nostalgia. For some of you, it's an unrealized dream that you've done. And most importantly, the state of calm, the state of presence that you experience today. It cannot be put in words. It's therapy, right? Art is cheaper than therapy. We visited the Isha Yoga Ashram for the Mahashivratri, and this Sadhguru had said something very significant. He said that the upcoming pandemic that's going to come is going to be the mental health pandemic. Everyone these days have troubles. And how to get out of it. How to free yourself from the grip of unwanted thoughts. It is through art. It is by understanding that by being present in a place, by creating from a place of soulfulness, you can get rid of all unnecessary thoughts. And you can be here and you can take this calm to the next level. During this 1 month workshop, I'll be teaching about in-depth perspectives. I also offer class on figure drawing, landscapes, humans, still life, architecture, and everything. But how the sessions are going to go is that what are you going to learn in the session? First 1 week, I'm going to take you through perspective drawing. So many of you, I spoke about perspective drawing. I spoke about I told you about how this is a complex topic and I need more time. I'm going to break down the entire concept of perspective drawing for you. And after this, you will be able to understand from any place and from any place how to draw them, how to view them. I previously done a perspective masterclass, and these are some of the results after that. You can see that here people complete beginners do these landscapes, do these aerial views, do these. Never again, when you go to a place, you'll feel like, gosh, I wish I could sketch. Gosh, I wish I could know this. Never again, you're going to get that feeling of FOMO that you're going to miss this. I'll take you through 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, 3 point perspective. I know many of you will have questions, but I'll help you. I'll answer them later. Week 2. Hey, urban sketching does not mean it's just cities and buildings. I'm going to take you through how to draw landscapes, how to draw sceneries. When you go to your village, when you go to your countryside, you wanted to draw the water. I'm going to teach you how to sketch the water scenery, how to sketch trees, how to sketch plants, how to sketch the entire sceneries and landscapes. How cool is this? Week 3. I'm going to teach you people. So today we learned the simplest and easiest way to understand, to learn people, right? We just drew a circle, we drew a rectangle, we drew this, we drew that, and we just did a simple suggestion for the people. But I want to take you how you can draw people with expressions, with the details, with the figures in the posters. One of my favorite things to do when I am sitting in metros is to draw people on the go, and I used to do this. In fact, at one point I used to sketch people like cartoon, and I used to make money out of that. I no longer do it. Now I mostly focus on taking classes and teaching you about all of this. It's all going to be live classes. I don't believe in just giving recordings and expecting that to learn out of it. You all need someone to sit with you. We will be having 4 live sessions every day. The timings of the sessions are set such that no matter whether you're working, you're going to an office, you're a homemaker, you will be able to make time. All of you here will be free at 8 p.m. at night. Yes, hello? 8 p.m. at night. Perhaps some of you might tell it's my dinner time. Perhaps some of you might tell I watch a movie time, it's family time. Join in with your family. What's stopping you? Join in with your family. The timings of the sessions are such that weekdays, we're going to have the sessions at 8 p.m. And I'm going to be starting the class on a Sunday. I'm going to starting the class on a Sunday, this coming Sunday on June 4th Sunday, where we're going to have a detailed master class starting at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. An entire detailed classes that you're going to learn with me. Yes. How many of you are in for this? How many of you are in for 1 month of in-depth learning with me? Kanira, I'll also be sharing the recording. So if you're someone who's free only on the weekends, you can catch up on the recordings. But see, the topic that I'm going to learn are very detailed and advanced, that it is not practical for me to just hold the sessions on weekends. We'll be having weekend sessions, we'll be having weekday sessions. But weekdays are when most of the sessions are going to be. It's going to be mostly on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. The session timings will be from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And of course, what else? What else is going to happen? You're also going to be a part of my community, which means you also get to be part of the other sessions I hold. I hold a 1-month reset challenge in which you can be a part of once you join in for the master class. You'll also be able to be a part of a meditation camp that me and Sanchari is going to be holding the coming week. So it's a 5-day meditation challenge. How many of you here are early risers? Say I. If you're an early riser, or if you're someone who is not an early riser and is struggling to rise up early, comment in N. You want to wake up early? You want to start waking up early? 5 a.m. You also get to be part of a 5 a.m. meditation camp that we're going to be holding. But of course, now comes a big question. okay, all this sounds nice, Niranjan, but how much do I have to pay for it? I can't break my bank over this. If I could offer all of this to you in one session, what is the price that you'd be willing to pay? Let me know in the chat box. I don't want you to tell me that it is going to be that you get in-depth learning with me, you get mentorship, you get feedback, you get to create such amazing results, and most importantly, I can help you get rid of your anxiety, your stress levels. Your stress levels are going to be lower than ever before. Can we ever really put a price on it? Can't really put a price on it. There's no price for mental health. But I want to make this all available to you. And I don't want to do it in a manner that you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is beyond my affordability. So for all the sessions together, typically I offer the classes at 5,500. 5,500, I think, is a fair price for everything, for the sessions, for learning in depth. But stay with me, because I'm going to do something that I never typically do. I'm going to extend to you an offer. Because this is my first urban sketching bootcamp of this kind that I'm going to do. A month-long urban bootcamp specifically for urban sketching. I've done portrait drawing before. I've done perspective drawing. I'm going to extend to you an offer where I'm going to drop the price to 4,000 rupees. I'm going to drop the price to 4,000 rupees. But I can't keep this available through the time. I can't keep this available all the time. Let me just lower the price here. I'm doing it right in front of you here. The urban sketching bootcamp. Lowering the price to 4,000 rupees. So including the tax and everything is going to be only 4,140. So let me share the link right here. I'm just going to share the link with you in the WhatsApp group. I hope you're all part of the WhatsApp group by now. Forward the message to Urban Sketching Workshop, May 28th. Done. There you go. I've shared the link. In the WhatsApp group. I'm also dropping the link in the chat box. See, guys, I'm going to be real with you. I can't keep this forever and ever and ever. I really want people who want to join in, and I want people who are ready to invest in themselves. Knowledge is not for free, and it's not practical to. It's not sustainable for me to do it for free at all. But if you are someone who believes in mentorship, if you are someone who believes in improving your quality of life, if you are someone who believes in creating in getting to your best ever self, creating these beautiful drawings, join me on this journey, and I will not let you down. We're going to learn. We're going to start from the basics. You're not on WhatsApp. I'm just sharing the link here right now. Just check. I'm going to share the link right here. This. Okay. Okay. Going to share the link. See, Rupshi, you're already part of the Platinum membership. So you're already part of the Platinum membership. And what do you say? You don't have to pay anything more. I mean, it's for you, it's done. I have done. So Platinum membership, I don't know your name, Prav Maya Tara. What's your name? I would like it if you typed your name. So platinum, Praveen. All right, Praveen. So platinum membership is basically now you're learning one class from me, one master class from me. Previously on the previous month. So Renu, you also are a part of, you are also a platinum member. You don't have to pay anything. This is coming along with you, all right? You don't have to pay anything further for that. So you can learn one class from me, or you can learn multiple classes from me. Yes, this is 1 month fees. Yes, this is 1 month fees. If you chose individually different classes, let me show you the sheer amount of classes that I do to begin with. Fine. So find all the recordings. This is a platinum group. It's a very active WhatsApp group. These are all the classes that I've held in the previous month. I mean, not in the previous month, this year so far. We do book discussions, art manifestation, and so here the portrait mastery workshop. You can see it's a complete playlist where I taught how to learn portrait drawings. And for each one of this, instead of joining individually for each of the classes, with a single one-time payment, you can be a platinum member. I price it at 18,000 rupees, but I'm not getting in depth into that because it involves a lot of different things and I don't want to confuse you. If you're interested, after this 1 month camp, you have the option of upgrading to the platinum membership. I want to tell you that your learning will not have to end with 1 month. For those of you who are ready to take the journey for a longer time with me, I'm ready to carry you. Still shows 5,500. That cannot be because I've just brought the changes here. Just let me just do that. Yes, try it again, Azma. Just refresh and try it again. Just try it again. Just try it again. Yes. So you can ask your page shows the revised price. Yes, yes, yes. So it is at 4,000, right? It is at 4,000. I think on the main page also. Register now. I'm just editing again. Register now for 4,000. Page saved. So now try again. I think this should be coming right now. Just check. Yeah, now it's showing 4,000. Now it'll be showing 4,000. Yes, now it's showing 4,000. Just refresh. It's showing 4,000. Yes. So see, the last workshop I did like this. I offered this for 10 people and 13 people took it right then and there on the spot. So I mean, right now already we got 3 registrations coming in. And if you don't take this now, then you'll have to come back later and then you'll approach me like, I thought about it. I want to join. You'll have to pay the full price. This is something, this offer I'm extending for those who are ready to take it, who are ready to take the leap, who are ready to take the journey with me on this, who are ready to make who have the power to make the decision. If you're someone who wants to discuss with if you say you want to discuss with your spouse or you're a child who wants to talk to your parents or anyone, just let me know and you can reserve your spot. That's also fine. I'm giving you permission to unmute. Perhaps you'll have questions, you'll want to know more. You can ask me. I mean, this is, it's your time. You can ask me your questions and your doubts.
Hi, Niranjan. Bandana here.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. One,
Yes.
do you have a offline session in Bangalore by any chance?
So actually, let me show you this. I'm glad you asked this.
I asked already in chat, but I think you missed it.
I missed it. I know it was already in there. So let me show you our Instagram. The previous month, we did our first offline retreat in Bangalore. We did our first offline retreat in Bangalore. And look at this. So Ramya, who was a part of this workshop, had come for the offline retreat. She's a platinum member. And we had lots of fun. It was our offline meetup where me, Sansari, we did a lot of art, we did a lot of journaling practices. It's a very lively and active community that we have here. So we're basically like family. And we did our first offline meetup in Bangalore. Because I live in Kochi, I cannot do their offline classes in Bangalore. But the next time I do that, you can certainly be a part of our circle. This is from when I met Jay Shetty and I gifted a
I'm a
portrait.
big fan of him. I really.
So I had the good fortune of meeting him and presenting the drawings, and Sari presented her sketch notes. We just recently held a sketch noting class where we taught people how to make notes using this, notes using art.
Nice.
So Jay Shetty was part of our vision board, and we had the good fortune of manifesting that vision. We'll be learning about art manifestation. We'll be learning about all that. Okay.
I would have loved to join, but my work timing is different.
What
So
is your work timing?
it's afternoon shift. So
You can
then,
watch recording though. If you really want to join, you can watch recording, because I give recordings, and the recordings you have access to them, so you can what do you say? Like there's a 1 month validity for the recordings. So if you miss a session, you can just immediately watch them on the times that you're free. You'll be free in the mornings, no? If you have afternoon shift.
yeah, I do go to gym and all. I mean, it's a bit tight schedule.
Right.
I prefer offline though. I like interaction.
Super. Yes,
And
yes.
second question was a specification of the notebook if you have, and the pen which you.
A5 sketchbook, fine liner pen. You'll get fine liner pens from an art shop or from an Amazon, or this is a fine liner sketchbook. I'll be sharing my drawings in the WhatsApp group.
Sure.
I'll be sharing my drawings in the WhatsApp group. In the meantime, let me share the details as well as the link to you.
Okay, sure.
Superb.
Hi, hello, Gauri here.
Yes, you can ask me your questions.
I would like to know, in the sketch that we made, you made two windows in the left building, but on the top, I have made a single window, but in the down the first floor, it's second two windows.
Okay.
So how to line it up properly, because it's a bit.
That's
bit
okay.
challenging.
I mean, the thing is, if you have already made a detailed with ink, you can't erase it, you can't undo it. If you have made a detailed with ink, you can just go with it and you can play along with it. But one window, two window, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Probably someone's going to think the building is designed that way. It's all right, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have made a payment.
Hey,
I have a
Praveen.
question.
Yes, you can
Hello.
ask me a question.
I have made a payment, sir. Sir, excuse me.
Yes, superb. Your name?
And but I have to send a screenshot of that.
No. Actually, if you have made a payment, I'll immediately be notified here. Let me just look and confirm. Okay, it's loading. Let me just look and confirm.
Hi, Niranjan. I also
Your
wanted
name?
to check Kritika here. So I just wanted to check, like you said, it goes on weekdays as well, right? So these are 1 hour sessions. How long are these classes?
Session is typically 1 hour, 15 minutes. Sometimes when we are drawing and we'll be talking, we'll be chatting. So we'll be seeing that this is, it can even extend up to 1.5 hours.
Sure.
Almost, let's say, save up time at least until 9:30, because after the session I'll be holding Q&As as well. I'll be giving feedback on your drawings. So you would not want to miss that. All right.
And
yes.
And the same for Sundays also, or Sundays are longer?
The Sunday, so see, I'll tell you the detail. If I had to give you a detailed breakdown of the lesson, the first session is going to be on perspective drawing. Now, perspective drawing is a very complex topic. I'll not be able to detail that in small sessions. So in the first session, which is on June 4th, Sunday, we'll be holding an epic session. It will go from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll be giving you lunch break in between. Like from 11 to 1, I'll give you a lunch break from 1 to 2. Then after that, we'll again draw for 2 hours. So it's going to be an epic session where I'm going to take you through in-depth perspective drawing. This is topic that fine art students in 3rd year learn, and I'm going to offer it to you in a single session on a Sunday. So it's going to be very intense. That's going to be long. I'll be sharing the PDF with you. It's actually in the WhatsApp group, because so don't worry. You can find it there. I'll also be messaging it to you personally. But what you say, and after that, the remaining sessions are going to be 1 hour, 1.5 hours each. After that, no other sessions on screen. That's one session is there. In the end, I'll also be giving you can also pick a project, like a place that you always wanted to visit or a place that you visited, and you can capture your memory. You can sketch that and you can exactly see from where you began, from where you started, and from where you came from. Yes, so talking about it, I already got 6 payments. Thank you so much, Prakash, Padma, Ajmal. Super.
Hello.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you. Yeah, hi, I'm Sonal Jagtap. I wanted to ask you one question.
Yes.
Yeah, the class will be daily for 1 month.
No.
Then
Yes, please complete your question.
it's okay. Just tell me. Class will be daily.
No. We'll be
Then?
having 4 sessions in it. On the first week, which is June 4th to June 9th, we'll be having a
Okay.
session on Sunday 11 to 4, Monday 8 p.m., Thursday 8 p.m., Friday 8 p.m. So Tuesday is mine and Sansari's anniversary. So we'll be taking time off. Then
Okay.
after this, I'll be giving you 1 week break so that you
Okay.
can focus upon the lessons, you can understand, or you can also be a part of our 1 week monthly reset camp. So in the reset camp, we'll be learning more than just art. We'll be learning about how to make exercise a part of your life, how to become a superhuman through better sleep, with more mindfulness, with, by improving your life and conditioning. We'll be learning about plasticity.
Do you have any workout programs?
It's not a workout program. No, I don't want you to get into nonsense. It's not a workout program. We'll be giving you prompts. Basically, think of it as a self-improvement challenge.
I'm already doing calisthenics workouts. And if I join for this,
that's amazing. So I'll not be giving you a workout program per se, but I'll be giving you a prompt. I'll be giving you a prompt to make workouts, a part of your life. Like I'm a lifter and I'll be giving you prompts for that.
Oh, nice.
And it's not a workout program. It is more of a more of a program to reset your life and improve your mental health. So we'll be learning about topics of neuroplasticity, how to create dopamine and other hormones in your body naturally, how to be a machine of bliss. Okay, so
can you please share your this portrait right now we've made on WhatsApp?
This is my drawing. Sure, I'll share it after the workshop.
Okay, thank you.
So just 1 minute, guys. In the 1 week, you can take a break or you can be a part of the camp. And then again, from June 25th, we have another second week.
Bro,
yes, please.
Can you hear me? I'm a Malayali brother. എനിക്ക് ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ക്ലാസ് കിട്ടിയ കൊള്ളാന്നുണ്ട് ചേട്ടാ. ഞാൻ എറണാകുളത്ത് ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്. എറണാകുളത്ത് ഉണ്ടാവോ? ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ക്ലാസ്സസ് ഉണ്ടാവോ നമുക്ക് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്? കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. ആണോ? ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും.
Room in Tripunithra. Just drop me a message.
Okay.
You're living in Tripunithra. Come to our home and you can take the classes from here. No problem.
ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ കൊല്ലമാണ്. ഞാൻ എറണാകുളത്ത് ഹൈക്കോർട്ടിൽ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു ജൂനിയർ ആയിട്ട്.
Fellow Malayali here. Hello, brother. So,
thank you.
Next time you come to Kochi, feel free to drop into my home. But even in an online workshop, now everyone feels that after taking the class, they feel that I'm sitting them with them live. Because that's a level of intimacy, that's a level of closeness we have. So don't think that this is online and I don't want to do it. Offline is great. I'll certainly invite you when I put the next offline workshop. But do not miss out just because it's online, because you can learn a lot on it.
Okay. Thank you very much, brother. ശരിക്കും ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ കുറെ വരയ്ക്കും ബ്രോ, പക്ഷേ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം ആണ് ഞാൻ ഒരു ഓൺലൈൻ വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പിൽ അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഇങ്ങനെ വരയ്ക്കുകയാണ്. താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച് ബ്രദർ. താങ്ക് യു.
Hi, Niranjan. I have just 2 more questions. Kritika here. I wanted to understand what is the Zen Gym membership?
I'll explain to you that. So, Kritika, you are taking 1 masterclass. I hope to see you in the next masterclass. Now, if you want to learn, not just for 1 class, but you're enjoying learning so much and you want to keep learning from me, I hold masterclasses every month. Me and Sansari hold masterclasses every month. So now, by being a part of a membership, it's like taking a gym membership. See, in a gym, in a gym, there is calisthenics, there is Bhangra, there is a lot of different things that is going on at one time. So, but by being by being a Soulflow member, you get to be part of all our subsequent masterclass. That is exactly what the masterclass, and that is exactly what this is about. So here it's called the Platinum membership, and here people get amazing results. Like, you know, we started this from a place that we wanted to offer. See, I mean, for learning also, just this month, you wouldn't believe, we hired a coach. We hired a coach to help us understand how to improve our classes, how to scale our business. And I'm not kidding. We paid him 7 lakhs straight off the bat. So we spent a lot of time and effort and money into our learning. I spent a lot of effort into learning art, and here we have started this so that we can offer all these concepts to you in a way that's easier than that's affordable. People get amazing results out of this. Like someone is manifesting their dream vacation, someone is manifesting their, someone is having better peace of mind, and someone is loving the community membership and engagement. So what do you say? People get different results out of this. And here you get to be part of this masterclass as a whole. It's a one-time payment. It's a one-time payment of 18,000. It's written 20,000 here, but it's for 18,000 you offer it, and you can be a part of it. But of course, after this 1 month, after the 1 month urban sketching workshop, you can choose, you can upgrade. But if you are very convinced and you want to directly join, welcome in, because this is where the real game lies. I mean, how much can you do in 1 month? Here, you can see that it's the most beautiful place in the world, also, because someone is writing letters, someone is sharing the insights on the books, someone is sharing about the new hobby that they're talking about, and we make our students itself hold classes. We can see that these people are again and again classes. So you know, it's a really crazy atmosphere here. This completed.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my payment is made, but it's not showing any details over there. So
Don't worry. I'll be sharing you the details. Don't worry. I'll be sharing it just as you have been receiving my alerts and notifications. You'll be receiving this payment this as well. Okay. Don't worry about that.
for joining the class, is there any group or what?
Yes, there is a group. There is a WhatsApp group.
But I can't see over there.
You'll be added. Don't worry.
Okay,
You'll
thank
be
you.
added to the WhatsApp. Okay. Don't worry about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any further questions? Wants to do that. Yes, it's your time. You can share it out. You can ask questions. Anything, guys. It's your time. It's your time to shine. You want to show your drawing, you want to talk about it, go ahead. Or you want to know more about the workshop, go ahead.
So during COVID, yeah, I joined some few online classes. So I have been drawing like since childhood, and I'm very much interested in art. So I don't know if you can see this. So this is what I drew with just gel pen.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
So there are few classes where I attended line art, so I got more interested. And yeah, this is obviously urban sketching I wanted to try from long time.
Right. That's incredible.
Thank you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So what do you say? Will I get to see you more?
Yeah, mostly.
Yes. Still making the decision.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Awesome stuff. So Gautama, yes. Hey, Gautama, Matki Gautama, right? Gautama is editing videos for us. Is editing videos for me. I'm glad to have you join me. Yes, Saida Gautama. Yes, guys. Can be part of the specific week. No. That we don't allow. You can join in for the entire masterclass as a whole, or you can, just what do you say? You can join in for the entire masterclass as a whole, or none at all. Like nothing like that. Nothing in between. It's either as a whole. So what will be learning in the masterclass? What exactly will we be learning in the masterclass? See, week 1, we'll be learning about 1-point perspective. We learn 1 point, 2-point perspective. I'm going to show you in-depth learning, understanding about every single thing. Like literally the transformations that you see here, they're not that challenging. They're not that hard per se. It's possible. It's 100% possible. It all comes from just understanding a few techniques. Today, I already taught you how to use grids to your advantage, how to shade. And here, this is just using up a different set of grids and using shading. Hear this. It's not rocket science at all. It's all about understanding. I mean, we learned the most basic way to draw a human being. Now, the more detailed way of drawing a person, that is possible as well. It's not that big of a challenge. In fact, it's not a challenge at all. It all can be done. It's all about understanding the right techniques. It's all about understanding the right techniques and understanding them. The session timings will be from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then on the Sundays, we'll be having it. We'll be learning about 1-point perspective, in-depth 2-point perspective. We'll learn about sceneries, landscapes. You don't get to between each one of the groups, but you can learn all of it. Why leave behind someone? You can learn all of it. The water, scenery, mountains, trees, people. You pretty much learn to do anything. You learn to do anything and everything. Anything and everything that's around you, you get to. That's what I'll be doing. Okay. Super, guys. So it's nearly 1. We finished the drawing much earlier because you guys were super fast and super quick in understanding. Congratulations. Now, I'm still here to answer your questions, your doubts. You can ask. Anything? Is that it then?